For the sake of not getting demonetized and getting the actual story correct, let's say these things right now. Jeffrey Epstein was a very rich, very powerful man. He was also a very creepy, very bad man who did very bad things. And he was unalived by himself while in custody. And many people feel he did not get a chance to serve any actual justice. We didn't get the justice. And for those folks who want to use his very badness as a political crutch, we did not get a chance to show that our political enemies were attached to him to get anything out of that because of the unaliving of stuff. That being said, this is not a story about Jeffrey Epstein. This is a story about Pam Bondi, where in February, the Attorney General Pam Bondi actually told Fox News that a client list of individuals allegedly connected to Mr. Epstein and his crimes was sitting on her desk, pending review for public release. She had the client list and they were just looking over back and forth. So conservatives and online influencers took this to mean that something explosive was imminent because Bondi had it and Bondi was willing to get rid of it. The big thing was that she was going to release some names of very liberal, very Democrat, very Clinton-esque people who had the actual goods. Yeah. Today, July 7th, the Justice Department, who works for Pam Bondi, and the FBI, who works for two guys who have been saying Epstein did many, many things, issued a joint statement, declared that the exhaustive review revealed no incriminating client list. Let me repeat that part because it's in the quotation marks in my story script. Exhaustive review revealed no incriminating client list. No further Epstein-related documents would be released because there's no need to. They reiterated that Epstein killed himself and there's no evidence implicating of a powerful individual making it happen while he was behind bars. So there's a couple things that go along with that flip-flop that happened, because saying I have the client list on my desk to say, nope, doesn't exist, takes cojones. She may have been referring to or broadly taught about the files from Epstein, which are his flight logs, his address books, and things to that nation, and not so much a formalized client list. She had the Epstein files and more details on her desk, but not exactly the client list, the smoking gun people wanted to see. White House spokesperson clarified at that point that she was talking about this stuff about Epstein, but not so much an actual Heidi Fleiss-like list of folks. And many people were just basically expecting Bondi to make their dreams come true with this review of the thing that they all wanted to exist. The client list that would show just how many very, very bad Democrats, bad liberals, bad people were funding their lives with the Epstein money and surrounding themselves with Epstein lifestyle and doing all the dirty things that he was doing as well. So, one question must be asked. Was Pam Bondi lying to us? Was she lying to her customers or folks, followers on Fox News? Was she lying to America? Not necessarily. If she believed there was such thing as a list based on primary data that she thought was there but really wasn't there when they dug into it, it was on her desk for review, by the way, then it's not deceptive. She just wasn't quite aware of what she had, and once she realized it, she released the details with Banjoni and Kash Patel, all three people who were really big on talking about how the Epstein list would be released and how all things would be righted and wronged. Wrongs would be righted, something like that. Only to say together, as they come together as a Voltron lion, to throw out this justice to say, no, he just killed himself. Now, is she lying right now? Well, perhaps she was not lying because she didn't know what she had. She's probably not lying now because it's pretty much beaten to death, pun intended, the fact that there really is no there. Jeffrey Epstein was a terrible person. There was a mechanism behind the place to make things work in that evil thing he did. And there was a mechanism behind the place to make him in the money thing that he did. And as the two crossed, many people got connected back and forth. We'll never know who exactly was a part of the evil stuff because we won't. No one would be that dumb, and a guy that smart would not be that dumb. We do know many folks in the money part were involved because the man had money. And as I said in a comment on Facebook earlier, wealthy people like to be around wealthy people, even if the wealthy people they're around are creepy, are deviant, and have issues, because they'd rather be around other wealthy people, as bad as they could be, than the poor folks. Sorry, poor folks. It just what it is. But We're pretty sure, although I'm not in the building, so I can't say what was on her desk, that what was there, what was worthy of being newsworthy, what was worthy of telling things going on, especially since Jeffrey Epstein is still dead, is, for lack of a better word, dead. The earliest session appears to be more of an optimistic preview and then a confirmed fact. More of a shout out, more of a tossing out some red meat to folks saying, hey, cheer, cheer, we got this thing going on. Check out this next thing we got coming forward. And then they actually did some work. They read things. They looked at data, they looked at evidence, and they actually came to a conclusion that wasn't just this guy bad, he was attached to all these other folks. It was this guy was bad and he didn't want to face the consequences. We're all sad about that, but there's no one else to implicate in this one. There's no ring of bad people to talk about. It happened, clean cut, clear as it goes. Just like this is not exactly clean cut dishonesty, but it is bringing up expectations to a base of folks that will listen. Now, let me editorialize for just a second on the Pam Bondi stuff. If you watch her actual press conferences, she's out there vim and vinegar, hot and heavy every single time, going straight forward to talk the talk and produce the words that sound great for a guy like Donald J. Trump because she is fighting for him. She's got his back. She is speaking the truth to the public the way Donald Trump wants it to be heard. And that's great. That's what she should be doing. Except she's lying. A lot of lying, because that's what Donald Trump does. A lot of lying and misleading and trying to hype things up in a way so it sounds like, oh, those guys are so bad, instead of just saying, yeah, this is it. Nothing burger here. Something over there maybe, but nothing burger here. It's one thing to be a talk show host. You have to have that bravado every single day and keep going up on that act because it is an act. Something else, when you're not supposed to be an act, you're supposed to be a genuine person telling us the truth, the news, the perspective per your boss, and how things should be going and how we want things going, and being able to address the fact that, well, we had some setbacks with this one. This isn't always great. Something happened there, and keep moving on. Keep the flow going. A zinger every so often at somebody who comes steps out of line, but essentially calling all people who say what you're saying isn't that quite true, what you're saying doesn't really fall in line with what our eyes are seeing, calling them liars and trash is not the way to go. The way Pam Bondi is going, she'll have a job for quite some time because she's doing everything the guy in charge, your boss, wants her to do. And I guess that's fine. Your thoughts on that guy on the far right, and the thoughts on the lady in the center between us and what she's saying, the words she's saying. Maybe your thoughts on the words coming out of my mouth. Comment away.